legal status. Many people fail to respond to RFE or file an application before the deadline. This is why we offer a strategy session for 15 minutes at no cost to you. Not everyone qualifies. First, you need to speak with our CARES team. We receive many requests, so we recommend you answer a few questions on our website, greencardguys.com. Our mission is to help people live and work in America legally. Go ahead and subscribe below and follow and share. Talk to you soon. What's happening? How y'all doing? Today is Tuesday, September 19th. I'm here to answer your immigration questions and just, if anything, point you in the right direction. Today's topic is, sharing a game-changing approach to fixing your immigration status despite a removal case, okay? Whether it's active or an old one. My name is John Ting. I practice immigration law in all 50 states of America, helping you solve your immigration problem, maybe even prevent it from happening in the first place, so it's easier for you to get legal status. Okay, folks, some of y'all have joined the live show before. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. You might have a new question or a different situation in your case, and we're happy to continue answering your questions. That's what we're here for, helping you solve your immigration problem, because everyone's situation is different. You might not have the maybe not the right time to hire a lawyer. Totally understandable. That's one of the reasons we go on a live show, but mostly because when we get a lot of calls, and sometimes it's too late. Sometimes too late to help people because they've already gone into a situation where maybe they shouldn't have married that one person. Maybe they should have not have misrepresented, because if they misrepresent, yes, a waiver is available, but you need a qualifying relative. So there's a lot of future strategy. A lot of strategy involved, and that's what we help to offer in the consultation. Oops. I just got a call from my wife, so now I got to message her real quick. Okay, so let's see here. Anyways, if you have any questions, please drop it in the comment section, and I will try to get to it as soon as I can. I'll do my best to answer them. It might not be as in-depth as you prefer, and that's okay. I mean, this is a live show. I'm just trying to go through it very quickly. All right. Otherwise, if I don't even answer your question at all, I apologize. There's a lot of questions. I greatly appreciate your trust. On that note, we do offer a free strategy session for 15 minutes. Not everyone's qualified, but we offer a secret code so that you get prioritized, in the sense that because we do get a lot of inquiries for consultations and strategy sessions. So the secret code today is love. Okay. Some people don't know how to love, so I want to just be intentional and use the word love as a secret code. All right, because I know some of y'all are trying to find the right fit. So anyways, let's get down to it, okay? If you have a removal case, don't give up. Don't assume that just because maybe you have a lawyer that's just a little bit traditional in the mindset on the strategy approach, or you don't have a lawyer at all, don't give up, okay? Look, we're not trying to step on any attorney's toes, but look, this is your immigration status on the line. And if someone tells you no, it could be completely correct. But if you're thinking about it, if you need surgery and a doctor tells you that you need surgery, I prefer not to have surgery. I don't know about you, but I'm going to get a second or third opinion just in case. So that's really the same thing as a lawyer. So maybe back then you already hired one, and now you're thinking maybe because times change and something's up, positive or negative with immigration policy. I think it's good to check in with your current lawyer first, and then it might be a good idea to consult with another one, okay? But here with removal, and I mention this intentionally because I get a little bit pushback in the sense like, well, what do you not pushback, but like, well, what do I do with my current attorney, right? And the thing is, with removal cases, we have some clients who got the case dismissed because the even when the sponsor they have a marriage, but the sponsor is a resident. So back in the day, just a year plus ago, Department of Homeland Security and a judge, or at least DHS, they would likely not agree was someone who is sponsored by a resident. They would still let the case continue to essentially a removal order because it's not immediate relative category. Okay, classification. So those are examples that we talk about in the strategy session. That is no cost to you. It's for 15 minutes. Look, if you want more time, we're happy to offer it to you. We have, I believe, consultations paid for a fee for 30 minutes or even an hour. I don't know why someone would need a consultation for an hour. But if you just want to hang out, that's cool. Come down to Houston. We have a physical office in Houston, Texas. Come hang out. There's a lot of good food here. But look, I know you guys are focused on immigration status, so I want to answer those questions for you. So the thing is, if you have a removal case, you want to consider, and you might not be married with someone. Maybe it's a different relationship, family relationship, or even through a company. Usually when as a company wants to sponsor you and you have a removal case, it's likely too late. But the point is you want to think outside the box. What are the possible options? Even if you have to do what we call consular processing, okay? So that's just something to consider, because with the Supreme Court case that the result came out, I believe in mid-June, blue or red states cannot dictate what the federal government does with its enforcement policy, okay? A lot of y'all know about the memo, the Doyle memo, okay, on the enforcement policy. And Alejandro Mayorkas, the DHS secretary, on his memo, the red states tried to put a restriction on it, saying, look, you got to go after everyone. Just any company in general. You can't, look, it's like a lawyer saying, I want to handle all immigration cases. Sometimes that's not a good idea. It depends on the workflow for your team capacity, right? So, but I know many law firms say they take any case. I can tell you flat out right now, we don't accept asylum cases right now. We do have recommendations for you if you want someone to help with asylum, and they do great work, okay? But I can't guarantee an outcome for that, by the way. So anyway, you might think, well, look, I can't get married. Everyone's situation is different. Maybe it has to be done remotely. It's actually allowed in one county, in one state. That's Utah County, the state of Utah. And you might think, well, it says something in the law about consummate. Look, I get that. But USCIS has not declined someone because they said, well, have you consummated your marriage? They don't ask that. I think it's a nonsense kind of type of definition. If you have a marriage certificate, it counts, okay? Of course, this cannot be fake. It has to be real. It has to be recorded in that county of that state if it's in America, all right? So we've had cases approved where it happened as a remote marriage. If not, then I wouldn't be promoting that. So we have a link about that. If you're interested about Utah County, how that all works, that requirements, it's very relaxed, okay? But we're happy to send that to you. If you're on TikTok or Facebook, you can DM us the word Utah, and we'll know what you want, okay? We'll have a PDF or at least a link about it. All right, now, and so just to transition here about the topic of the day, our game-changing approach, okay, is that we're proactive. We don't wait until the day of the hearing to ask for your case to be dismissed. We prepare your case, whatever we need, whether it's to actually file a petition with USCIS, so it allows time, average 3 weeks to get the receipt notice. That's the preferred situation. So we actually have people that contact us when it's maybe, 3 weeks to a month before the court hearing. In some scenarios, we can't take the case. It just depends. But if it's a scenario that where we believe we can take care of things in a timely manner, we'll offer you a quote. Which, by the way, I can't talk about pricing here, at least not on TikTok. I tried that before and I got banned for like 5 minutes. It was nerve-wracking because all the work we put in with the marketing team. But I'm back. So I'm going to try not to violate their conditions here. But we're all about being transparent about fees. That's one of the benefits of our law firm. If you go to our website, greencardguys.com, you can see all our benefits about our team and how we approach cases, how timely we are, things of that nature. Okay. By the way, if you know anyone that has an immigration question, please share our channel. Please share the live show. We greatly appreciate it. It means the world to us. and especially if you tap the screen. If you enjoy the way we share content, answer questions, please tap the screen, or if you're on YouTube and Facebook, please click on the like button. Okay, so now I got to respond to my wife real quick. Okay. All right, now I'll answer some questions. Okay, Faith, for you on TikTok, thank you so much for tuning in. I know you got limited time. You're a U.S. citizen. You filed I-130 the 21st of January. Well, you're very specific. That's pretty good. Okay, of 2023, I'm assuming. And it says cases taking longer than expected. What do you do? Unfortunately, there's not much you can do. I mean, because on the processing timetable, that web page, on the bottom, you may have seen that you can enter your receipt date. Usually, if it does say like cases outside of processing times, then it will say that they allow you to submit an inquiry. But if it does say within processing time, then they don't let you submit an inquiry on the USCIS webpage. So if you're thinking about like, well, can I call in? Will that be any different? No, unfortunately, it's not much different. And even if you call in, it's going to take a hell of a long time. The USCIS hotline, they've done something differently in the last couple of months, I believe, and they have a bot. They have the dreaded bot. So it's sometimes hard to get through the bot. It's annoying. But hopefully that semi answers your question. Maybe not much to do other than what I mentioned. Let's see. How long does marriage-based green card take? You're living in Texas. Sam Breed, is your spouse a U.S. citizen? Then on average, and you file your case, and if you entered America with a visa or have some kind of parole, not the Cuban parole. That's an update, by the way. That's another topic, unfortunately. But if you enter the visa, some kind of parole, and your spouse is a U.S. citizen, and you file this year, it could take on average 3 to 5 months. If it takes longer, can't guarantee, right? But that's a trend this year. All right. I see some comments on YouTube, so I'll definitely answer those as well. Chris, Dave, you have U visa and renewed your DACA this year. Will that affect me to adjust status? No, they're two separate tracks. I know some people told me that some lawyers say you can't have more than one application on file. I don't believe that to be true. USCIS wants your money. They sure want your money. So if there's an issue about dual intent, that's a different situation. But in general, they're happy to accept your money for multiple cases. Look, that's how they get funded. That's how you pay the employees, is your money, your application fees. The Congress does not pay them. It's not within the government budget. All right. But in general, keep renewing your DACA, even if you got something else going on, because you said because you don't want the DACA, that deferred action to lapse. Okay. Especially everything going on with the recent court case. That DACA issue is going up to the Supreme Court again. But yeah, U visa, do you actually have U visa in hand valid for 4 years? That's amazing. So when it gets to 3 years, by the way, for U visa, you want to file as soon as possible for adjustment status. Do not wait till the 4th year, because the 4th year on U visa is a deadline to file for adjustment status. I don't know why they do that nonsense. They make it very we had a client come to us after it was already past the 4 years. Unfortunately, it wasn't too far past the 4 years on U visa, so we're able to argue an exception, but that could be difficult. Okay, don't wait on it. Put it on your calendar. Put it on your calendar. Okay, folks, do not delay in filing. All right, let me hit up YouTube real quick, answer some questions. Nepal123, thanks for providing free consult service. You can actually get all the answers to all your questions within 15 minutes. Yeah, thanks, Nepal. I guess you spoke with one of our team members, one of our attorneys already. Thanks so much. Sounds like they were able to point you in the right direction, if anything. Thanks, Nepal. Which, by the way, folks, if you don't mind, even if you don't have to hire us, okay? It's our pleasure to assist you from start to finish. But if you don't mind, if you got some value from the call or even in the live show, please go to reviewtinglaw.com. and mention on one of our team members if you spoke with someone else. They would greatly appreciate it because we do give bonuses at the end of every month. Okay. One other. Okay, back to you. TikTok real quick. Can my husband apply for a visitor visa while waiting for his green card process? It's likely. Look, I'm not going to tell you to not apply or tell your husband not to apply for a visitor visa, but every time someone tells us that they've done that and they already shows married, it's typically denied, unfortunately. So if anyone's in a situation where they're thinking to get married, apply for the visitor visa first, because then you can truthfully select on the application DS-160 online. It does ask, are you married? And of course you don't want to lie. You cannot lie. You really should not. Okay, some of y'all do, even when you're not married. Some people vote married. Don't do that. Okay, so hopefully that helps. When we have a strategy session, we can talk more one-on-one about that. Okay, Princess B, your citizen son filed for you in 2021. You got your work permit, SSN, and they asked for you mean RFE, which you sent in time. It's over. What the hell? It's been 2 years now. Okay. Well, I'm assuming your son is over 21, filed for you. That should be immediate relative classification. So it should not be a delay for that reason. So hypothetically, you should get the visa already. There's no wait time just for the visa in terms of allocation. Yeah, that might. Princess B on YouTube, this may be a situation to consider filing a lawsuit. Okay, we have several lawsuits like this situation. Yeah, USCIS, your follow-up comment is USCIS says case is actively reviewed. Nothing outstanding at the moment. Is that something good or not? I wish I could say that's something good, but it can mean shit, basically. Zilch. Might not mean anything because that it's just a misconception, I think, right? Every time someone tells me they see something like that on a status, it makes people infer. It makes people infer that that literally your case is being reviewed by someone in the moment, like right now, and that's not true, right? So I don't know at what point when they put that status that it says actively reviewed, but I wish they were more specific, like Domino's Pizza Tracker. Hey, Domino's Pizza Tracker, I think their pizza is getting better, by the way. I'm not sponsored by Domino's, but the Pizza Tracker is pretty accurate. Okay, so whether you pick up in person or get delivery. But apparently they spent millions on that, and I highly doubt USCIS spent millions. So that's one way to think about, is the USCIS case status updates accurate? Look, they likely did not spend millions, so it's probably not that accurate. Okay, let me switch over to TikTok for a question. And appreciate the likes, folks. I really appreciate it. That's so nice of y'all. Honestly, it doesn't mean anything to me, but my marketing team does tell me it does help for the algorithm to share our video or channel to others. Can you help to adjust status? You can apply in the. Can I help to adjust status? I can apply in April of the next year. Why is that? Why, Chris Day? Why do you mean next year? 2024? Oh, maybe because your sponsor, depending on the age, possibly. Maybe child turned 21, U.S. citizen. But yeah, we can. That's part of the case types we help with, is helping people get green card to adjust status. So adjust status is a term for folks in America. If someone is abroad and trying to go through get a green card while they're living outside the U.S., that's called consular processing. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question. See a couple more comments here. Claire, I see you. The game-changing approach, we need to get in touch with you again, Claire. I know it's been probably a couple months since one of us emailed you or contacted you. But game-changing approach is not in your situation, Claire. This is for folks who don't have anything going on. They haven't taken any action. So, but essentially, depending on the city, the the Department of Homeland Security attorneys, sometimes they're being more proactive to contact us after we email them. Sometimes But the thing is, you need an attorney to be proactive, to email or to contact the Department of Homeland Security, just so they at least have the information, because it can save a lot of time at the actual court hearing. Of course, we take the approach that we send them as much information, as much relevant information. Like, look, if you give us 100 pages worth of documents, that's wonderful. But if I work for Department of Homeland Security, I likely will not go through all 100. So we really review everything to see which ones will be most relevant for them to review. Although we take the approach to try to avoid the court hearing completely, like to not go to the court hearing, we likely have to go to the court hearing. But ultimately, when I ask the other side, the government attorney, what's your position on this? At least they likely have already reviewed everything, because if I just present it to them in person right there on the spot, it's going to take a while to give us the answer. Okay. So maybe game-changing approach is a little dramatic, Claire, but yeah, I mean, some people don't have any approach, I guess you could say. One more comment on YouTube, then I'll switch over to TikTok. Thanks for still staying tuned. How long does it take for a U.S. citizen child for I-130 and 45? Okay, you're filing for a child. As long as the child is under 18, this would be immediate relative classification. Great, came with a visa. You filed already in 2023. So yeah, it's not a marriage case, right? So marriage cases are the ones that are being prioritized in that sense. So yeah, it could take the normal time, quote unquote, 12 months. Okay, for when you're sponsoring I guess your U.S. citizen child is the one that's over 21 filed for you. Either way, it's a parent-child relationship. So those are not as prioritized in terms of compared to marriage cases. All righty. Alexa on TikTok. Hello, they denied. Ooh, I'm sorry to hear. Okay, they did reopen it. Great to hear. But they only did it for the petition. Okay, that's interesting, because I-130s, if they're reopened, that's through the BIA, okay, Board of Immigration Appeals. If it's a 485, then that's through USCIS, the 290B form. So that's that. Alexa, I think that's your name. That's something that we can look at for you. If you can share, go to our website, fill out the form, and use the secret code, folks. The secret code is love. That's right. Okay. We are not a dating channel, but I feel like love is an appropriate word these days. So we can take a look at it. So when you fill out the answers, fill out some information on our website form, you have the opportunity to upload your documents, so we can take a look at that. What is helpful is, in this situation, to review your denial notice, the original one, and the new one that maybe I mentioned reopening. We can provide, the more information y'all provide us, especially before a strategy session, the more accurate advice you can get in a strategy session to prevent a lot of back and forth. Let's see here. Princess B, what steps should you take? Okay, I'm on YouTube now. What steps should you take about adjustment of status? When a case is outstanding for that amount of time, yeah, maybe you missed that, what I said, but you want to consider filing a mandamus lawsuit, is what we call it. So get in touch with our office, but based on what you shared so far, this is 2 years after filing, or even after responding to RFE, is a long time. So that's definitely outside the processing time, is what I consider unreasonable processing time. Okay, so that's what they look at. That's what we look at as practitioners, as lawyers. When it's related to case delays, we call it mandamus lawsuit. Is the delay of timing unreasonable? So if you think 2 months is unreasonable, that's subjective, I guess. But between lawyers, there is like a unspoken thing, basically. So yeah, you won't necessarily see that on a website or something. So yeah, give us a call, okay, Princess B, or so you're on YouTube, so you can see the number right up here. or go to our website and answer some questions. And our cares team tries their best to get back to people, to y'all, within 24 hours of a business day. But again, it really helps them prioritize to give y'all value. For you taking your time in the live show, use the secret code LOVE. Every day is a different secret code. Okay, Alka on TikTok, you've been waiting for your husband's interview to get scheduled for over a year. He's in Egypt. I know. I see your emoji. Yeah, that's difficult. 1 year. Do you mean what is the current stage though? Did you already get documentarily qualified? I hope you did. And if that's the case, 1 year, it could be happening soon. Again, every consulate embassy across the world can be different. Between some lawyers, we have a chart of wait time, but even if I share the chart with you, it's not going to be accurate in terms for you specifically, because it's not necessarily like a black and white timetable that they have to follow. You're welcome, Princess B. Hopefully we can help you out. Okay. Yeah. And some people might think, look, I mean, it's been 2 years now. USCIS going to make a decision next week. No, they don't give a shit. Unfortunately, I hate to say it. Excuse my French, but they don't have. It's the government we're talking about. Look, folks think U.S. is a major superpower. I get it, totally get it. But in terms of government and bureaucracy is what I think about, and no workflow. So the long wait time doesn't mean your case is bad or anything. It's just that the government is inefficient. Okay, look, an officer, a government officer, USCIS or visa officer, could have been reviewing your file, intended to do something with it. But let's say they got promoted, demoted, or transferred to another office. My thinking is, I've never worked for USCIS, is that case file could have literally been sitting there. We use software to remind us to take the next step. So you would think maybe they use something like that. But just the way I understand the government works, they could have quote unquote forgotten about it, unfortunately. Okay, to user 806 on TikTok, if you married and got divorced, oh shoot, the comment went away. Let's see. By the way, y'all don't have to copy and paste your comment so many times. Maria's on our marketing team. She's helping us out to pin your question as a comment so I can see it. If you're married and get divorced before any documents sent in for GC, how long after can you get remarried? So you didn't get the GC at all, didn't get the green card? Then it's more, how long can you wait to get remarried? That's more about state law, but I think what you're trying to say, because in Texas, it's minimum 30 days to wait after a divorce. But in a divorce order, we can ask for a waiver of those 30 days. But look, if you're in an interview in the future, I think what you're really trying to get at is there like a bad thing if you get remarried very quickly, right? Depends on the situation, right? Depends on your true story that you want to present at the interview. If there is an interview. Look, if you file a case with the current spouse and then got divorced and then withdrew or something, then yeah, it's probably going to look not as good if you get remarried very soon and then file very soon. So, and then in general, when you get married, we recommend wait a couple months so you can build up the evidence anyway, for the purpose of trying to get your interview waived. All right. But in terms of your question, yeah. But if you didn't file through the first spouse, then I don't think there's really you can get married whenever in that sense. Ren Reed on YouTube. Okay. Your son is married to a U.S. citizen. Okay. Who became a citizen after his daughter. I think you're talking about your son. Who became a citizen after his daughter. Or maybe you're talking about a friend. Who became a citizen after his daughter filed. So his U.S. citizen daughter filed for him. Okay, got it. Can he upgrade to his I-130 so his spouse? I'm trying to piece together what you're sharing, but maybe it's just better in a strategy session. Oh, maybe because he's a resident only right now. So his spouse, maybe you're trying to say more than that, but yeah, maybe Ren Reed, we're happy to take advantage of that free 15 minutes. Okay. Strategy session, or maybe not. Doesn't sound like so much for you. It's your son, I think, if I'm filing it correctly. Anyway, Sebaj Nagra on TikTok last month, my case is granted, but DJs put appeal. How long will BIA respond? Oh man, that's another $1 million question. BIA tends to take a hell of a long time. You know, first of all, it has to wait until the DHS submits their brief. Okay, their reasoning essentially. A brief is all the legal arguments, and then after they file it, your attorney, if you have one, or yourself, I highly suggest it that you file a brief as we call it a reply brief. Okay, then after that, all received by the deadline, then BIA can make a decision. But typically, it's going to take about average 2 years. It takes a long time, just because there's so many cases. Okay, so I'm probably going to answer about 3 more questions. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Okay, so Enrique, can you get AP for Mexican holiday? I'm assuming you have DACA, maybe. Yeah, I don't know if holiday is gonna work on the instructions on USCIS webpage. I know they talk about like a job related, let's say like a conference or something abroad, or I believe it's like humanitarian or medical related for a family member or something like that, and it doesn't specify family member, so that's a good thing. We've even had it approved when it was more like a memorial, not a funeral. But if you just say holiday only, I'm not quite sure if you'll get approved. Because if it's a marriage case, we would just put in, if you're filing based on marriage, then we just put in tourism or visit family in general. But if it's, if it's DACA or TPS related, it has to be more specific. Broda D, when can you apply for citizenship after your green card was renewed in 2020? Well, hopefully in 2020 is when you actually got approved for renewal. But in general, if it's not based on marriage, or even if you got divorced from the person who sponsored you, then it defaults back to 5 years. Okay. And 5 years total of resident status. So it can include conditional resident status. Okay. It doesn't have to be only the permanent resident status for 5 years. But if anyone else has been married and still married to that same person who sponsored you, the file to fix your papers, then it's 3 years. That's when you can apply to become a citizen of the United States. Okay. What was that? One question? Got 2 more. Okay. 2 more questions. Okay. Star American, you received RFE for your adoptive daughter. What is the appropriate timeline to respond? ASAP. And usually it's the last page. You see the first or last page. I don't know why. Sometimes they mix it up. First or last page would tell you the deadline, actually. Okay, I don't know why they mix it up. Sometimes they put like you have 87 days to reply, or in other situations they'll give you a specific day to respond by. But internally for us, we work as quickly as possible so that ultimately when we put it on our calendar that we want to make sure we try our best. If everything works out, we file before one week before the deadline. Okay, so if we get an RFE today, we're going to call our client today, the same day. We're not going to wait, because there could be a list of evidence that you need. When you talk about adoptive case, they could be asking about showing proof of the 2 years of living with that adoptive child. Most people are not going to have that evidence. So hopefully you do, though. All right. One more question. All right. Who's the lucky person here? And even if if I don't answer your question, or again, not as in-depth as you prefer, welcome to schedule. Give us a call or go to our website to answer some questions, and our CARES team member will call you within 24 hours of a business day. They try their best to help them prioritize. Please use the secret code LOVE. All right, LOVE. Okay, we gotta show more love to each other. All right, a little more care. All right, Provy Cruz. How can a person living in Florida get a visa interview? That's a pretty broad question, so I don't know if you filed anything yet, or if it's for residency or not. So might be, or is this for you, or do you have status? Is this person have status currently? Do they have a sponsor? We have a long list of questions. I know it may seem like interrogation, but our CARES team does depend on the situation. Our CARES team is trained to ask certain questions so we can better point you in the right direction. Okay, folks. Well, on that note, that's the last one I can answer right now. I have to go to a team meeting now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you for your trust. Anyways, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Y'all have a wonderful day. Take care.